Friday 7. It's my favourite time in the programme when we review your morning newspapers. This morning we're joined by the broadcaster, Mike Parry, and the former editor of the Daily Star, Dawn Neeson. Welcome back.
It might be your favourite time of the programme. That's because the first story on the list that I can see, Dawn, is about love pills. Reviving your marriage.
I don't need pills to make me live.
Like love pills, Stephen. Come on, love. Love. Right, okay.
What love pills are we talking about here, Dawn?
This is obviously not aimed at you, Stephen.
No.
3 weeks in today. Happy 3-week wedding anniversary.
Thank you very much indeed, yes.
Still going strong.
I know.
In any case,
The first thing she said to me when she walked in an hour ago was, "Are you divorced yet?"
36 years in, sorry to,
well, exactly.
you would know a thing or two about a happy marriage.
Hands at this.
Yeah,
we know what you're...
Less of the old.
Anyway, this is the front page of the Times, and it's in other newspapers as well. And it's some fun. We're allowed to have fun, evidently. This is she's Dr. Anna Machin. She's an anthropologist at the University of Oxford, and she has said that in 3 to 5 years' time, love pills will be available for couples to get together and to improve their relationships, to remain happy.
So it is about love and not about...
It's not Viagra.
It's not that you need that either, probably, Stephen. These are on the horizon. Basically, she has said it's the cuddle hormone, drugs that encourage you to have the cuddle hormone, Stephen.
Yes.
Is that oxytocin?
It is, absolutely. I'm glad you said it. I didn't want to pronounce it.
You squirt it up your nose. That doesn't sound very romantic to me.
Oh my God.
You know, I want to get in the mood. I'll just give it a...
Yeah, never no need, boss, Mike.
As you were.
Thank you very much, boys. Calm down there.
Yes.
And basically, it's a version of MDMA, the ecstasy drug.
Of what?
Oh, crikey. Wasn't expecting that.
Well, that's what it is.
What, legally?
Legally, yeah. We're talking 3 to 5 years' time.
Seems to know a lot about this subject.
There's heckling in the ranks. Sorry.
Honestly, yes, boys, do calm down. So basically, in 3 to 5 years' time, it's a version of, and it helps produce the oxytocin, which makes you feel happy and love. And you, as Mike quite rightly said, you squirt it up your nose, a bit like having a glass of Prosecco. Not that you squirt that up your nose, by the way.
Well, I do sometimes when I get
Go
excited.
out, yes, that's enough about your weekend. And it's meant to help you feel more inclined to fall in love and have and sort of like meet people and be nice and relaxed. Stephen, stop looking at me like that. And even if you are in a long-term relationship, Isabel, it's meant to help with the couples.
Can you get it on the drip, Isabel?
I'll tell you what, as a journalist, I've identified a couple of problems with this story. It's called the love pill, but you squirt it up your nose. Well, how do you squirt a pill up your nose? Sorry, number one.
Oh, come on, stop. So pedantic now. I'm sure you can. I'm not going to do that joke. You can do whatever you want with it, but evidently.
It's all well and good if you turn out that you married the wrong person. Then
No. Look, 3 weeks in, you're not qualified yet to talk about how to keep the cuddles going after
Come back in
decades.
2 weeks' time and tell us.
Someone who gets married at the age of 48 knows a little bit about romance.
Yeah, I'm
so
sure.
believe you me, you know when you find the right one.
Oh, go on, tell us about the others.
I'm amazed at the number of my friends now of my age who admit now they need a little blue pill on a very regular basis. You know what I mean?
They had to go there. They had to.
Well, I didn't realise it was so
Now we're on to Viagra.
It was so widely used. Yeah.
No, but it's interesting that, isn't it? That it's one of those. It's the great taboo that.
Absolutely. That's right. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. You know,
nothing.
Help, boys.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. What's happening over at Radio 2, Mike?
Right, well, this is a story about Tony Blackburn. Tony Blackburn, in my opinion, is as important to the development of music as the Beatles, okay? He was around when the Beatles came along in the 60s, and the Rolling Stones, and the Who, and he's been with us ever since, okay? So it's an absolute disgrace that his show on Friday night on Radio 2 is being moved, if not got rid of. The former Top of the Pops presenter has fallen foul of plans to turn Friday evenings on Radio 2 into party night. And as Tony is, I think he's 79 now, he is 79, maybe parties are not his thing anymore, if you see what I mean. Maybe sitting behind a deck and spinning a few discs from the 60s is his thing. I, for one, am a huge fan of Tony Blackburn. I think he's added so much colour to my life, not just as one of the original DJs who was on Radio Caroline and at Radio 1, but more recently, of course, in the Jungle and all that kind of stuff. He's been a constant in my life. He's been as constant as the Queen.
My Uncle Tony. Tony went.
Do you want some Tony Blackburn
Because we
trivia?
have some, we have quite a lot of our things in common.
That's right, yeah.
In talk.
He used to review the papers for me when on my old job.
Oh, okay.
And my favourite Tony Blackburn trivia is that for nearly 3, maybe 4 decades, he's eaten vegetable soup out of a tin every single day.
What, with a spoon?
Yeah, well, no, just that he doesn't like to eat. He said if he could take a pill to eat, he would. But he eats tin soup every single day for nearly 40 years.
But anyway, there is a bit of good news here. From July the 15th, his programme, Golden Hour, will air instead on Sundays at 7 p.m. But also, a second DJ is also very famous, Gary Davis, is having his show moved as well from Friday to Sunday to follow Tony Blackburn. So we're not losing them forever, but Friday night, I mean, it is party night, isn't it? And you're far more likely to want to tune into Tony Blackburn on Friday than on Sunday, because of course Sunday is the day of rest, and we all get religious, don't we?
You ever rest?
Gary Davis, you know that?
You don't know what that is, do you?
Yeah, Gary Davis, yeah.
I was just going to say though, but it's this drive for the youth market, isn't it, that the big are obsessed with?
Well, they're doing that on local radio. I mean, and local radio is not the place for the youth market.
And what 20-year-olds are going to sit in on a Friday night listening to BBC Radio 2 in any...
I couldn't name a 20-year-old DJ in this country, though, because that's my generation. Don't they realise that my generation are numerous? We've got the Grey Pound, you know, we've got the experience of listening to all the music of the last 60 years. Why treat us like we're second-class citizens?
Well, I tell you what, Mike,
to music.
they can listen to GBNEWS on the radio.
They certainly can.
Problems will be solved.
Yeah, it's a really good idea, that. Well done.
But we won't play you many songs, unfortunately, on a Friday night. But
You can burst into song every now and then.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's Patrick Christie's on a Friday
He's
night,
very
Friday night
funny.
feast, so that will keep you
He's
entertained.
outrageous.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Sick notes.
I love the way you said that in tune. Right, okay, yeah, we're going to get serious now. This is our page 4 of the Daily Mail. Now you can get a chemist to write you out your sick note. Pharmacists and nurses at GPs clinics will be allowed to sign. Now, they're not actually called sick notes anymore. I didn't even realise this until I read this story.
What are they called now?
They are called fit notes. This was a change that happened the other year. It's basically a GP has to sign you to be fit to go back to work rather than sick to take time off work. And last year, GPs issued 10 million fit notes, which have replaced sick notes. Now, this is a drive to get GPs seeing patients again and actually concentrate on what they need to. Because, I mean, a fit note you can probably do over the phone, or as they're doing here, popping into your chemist. You don't need to see a doctor to do that.
So you've got to get the chemist to write it, and then you've got to get your doctor to sign it.
No. Evidently, the chemist is now allowed to sign you off.
Crikey.
Yes. So basically, it's
powers to the pharmacy.
It's in theory, absolutely, which is a good thing. However, pharmacists are already under an awful lot of pressure. They're taking on a lot more jobs in any case. The queue around the block outside my local pharmacy in East London is already fairly horrendous. You have to wait half an hour to get through the door these days. Meanwhile, the GPs is still done up like Fort Knox with hazard warning tape. You can't get in there. Telephone appointment in 3 weeks' time if you're not dead yet. So the theory is that we will now get more of us get to see our GPs in face-to-face appointments when we need to see them. So it's giving them more time. Whether that will actually happen or not is another matter.
But this is a lead swingers charter, isn't it? It's a lead swingers charter. Already, when you're going to see a doctor and say, "Oh, doctor, I've got a bad back. Can you sign me off for 7 days?" Every doctor will tell you it's impossible to diagnose whether you have got a bad back or whether you're swinging the lead. So if that's a doctor's point of view, the old chemist who's more used to putting together packets of aspirin and this sort of stuff, how is that pharmacist going to tell whether you have actually got a bad back or not? He's not even a trained medical person. It's a lead swingers charter.
To be fair,
lead swingers charter.
Pharmacists are very highly trained.
They are, but they're not trained in the development of the spinal cord in a human body, are they? So when you go in and, "Oh, look, doc, can't you see? I've got a bad back. I need 7 days off." What can a pharmacist do to disprove this? Can he call you a liar and say, "I don't believe you've got a bad back. You're lying. I'm not giving you a note"? Well, that would cause a riot.
The other worrying story on the same page in the Daily Mail is where the state we are with trying to get our medical care at the moment is a nightmare of an A&E wait with a 13-hour
13-year feels like it's a lot.
13 years.
A 13-hour wait, Isabel, and it's like, you know, the fact that you can't get to see a GP now is putting so much pressure on A&Es, and I've got a friend who's a paramedic, and at the end of their tether, because people are going to A&E using paramedics rather than seeing GPs, which should open up now, please. Why not?
Yeah.
Yes. Can we talk about Love Island?
Yes.
I bet Michael Owen wishes his daughter had a sick note.
I mean,
Why?
Love Island. I mean, honestly, I mean, it's. I just think it's awful that we sort of. This is what we class as entertainment.
Do you know what? I so totally agree with you, Stephen. I mean, in a modern civilised society, we're actually watching a programme which is basically encouraging young people to end up having sex with each other. That's the basic premise, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the basic premise. And to try and tease them into fancying somebody, or do you fancy him, and work up jealousies. Anyway, it's no wonder that Michael Owen, one of the greatest England footballers of all time, Michael Owen could have cracked the goal-scoring record if he hadn't had such bad injuries during the course of his career, which it looks like Harry Kane is about to take over. Anyway, back to this. Michael Owen said he travelled to Germany to watch England play, so he didn't have to watch daughter Gemma on Love Island. Like any father of a young daughter, she's 19, she's very attractive, she's an influencer, which is a new modern sort of career that young ladies do, and she's in Love Island. And can you blame her father for not wanting to sit there, as Stephen's just said, watching his daughter being enticed into a physical relationship with another hunky, guy that she's never met before in her life, in order to titillate the whims of millions of viewers across the world.
Sounding a little bit prim and proper. There's loads of marriages that have come out, and indeed babies from other outlets.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised there's loads of babies.
Yeah, but many more that haven't. Many more that haven't.
Found on there.
I think it's almost like sponsored, pick-up time, isn't it? All that kind of stuff,
Get it on. Calm down. Oh, for God's sake.
Just stick to the Viagra.
I think it's a nice bit of innocent fun.
It's not innocent.
Innocent
fun. They're so prude.
I know.
Honestly,
Millions of people disagree.
I think it's a disgrace.
I think it's very close to that. I mean, there's no morality in it, Dawn, is there? I can see where your moral compass lies.
I didn't actually watch the show. I mean, there is.
I watched it for 10 seconds and switched off.
Yeah, you can tell, because people, and they're just human beings. At the end of the day, there are moral codes of behaviour, and that's explored within the
strutting
programme.
about with next to nothing on.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's immoral.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, that full-length burkini going
make sure
for
you get
it.
it out. Otherwise, you're immoral.
They're all meant to look dim, aren't they? They're all portrayed as dimbos. They might not be dimbos, but the way the programme's done it, they're all portrayed as, you are, hey, that's all they seem to say.
One of them's a microbiologist.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Well, there is the exception to the rule, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean,
just
that's
saying.
the other one. I do think it's terrible. And I wonder where TV's going, because you've got that, you've got Wedding at First Sight and all this sort of stuff.
Yes.
I mean, it's the world coming to.
This is what Michael Owen's up against. It came on Tuesday night's episode. Tuesday night's episode showed 19-year-old Gemma controversially coupling up with David, who's 27, who stole her from her former partner, Liam. And Michael, 42, groaned during the match coverage. I came all the way to Germany to try and avoid all that. I don't blame him.
Can I just say, for two gentlemen, I'm using that term loosely, who are
very nice,
completely disinterested in this subject, you're talking a lot about.
Well, seem to mind, but for two women who you would think would be sort of quite feminist, you don't seem to mind these young girls being passed about like chocolate stolen from one to the other.
They're women who've chosen to take part. They end up often quite affluent off the back of it.
So it's all about the money.
I'm just saying.
And can I
it's all about the money.
And men are parading around looking gorgeous as well. Not that I've noticed. Obviously, David is quite fit though, isn't he?
Hang on, David in one day has dropped one girl and shacked up with another. What is this all about? It's like a zoo. It's like watching a zoo. It's a zoo, see?
Do you ever feel like you're working with your dad?
Sometimes,
Or possibly your granddad?
No, I don't know. I think there's something to I think it's lax morals.
I think it lacks morals, and I think it's distinctly distasteful. I also think it will influence the behaviour of millions of young people, and the moral compass of this country will be awkwardly bent by this programme, in my view.
With you all the way on that. I absolutely am.
Like the 1950s called They Want You Back.
No. Nothing wrong with having a moralistic point of view, Dawn. That might have escaped you.
There you go. I agree. Poor old Michael Owen, his daughter's now immoral. There you go.
Well, her father is very worried about her being involved in immoral activity. Otherwise, he'd sit there every night and look at it and say, I'm so proud of my daughter. Yeah.
Let us know your views this morning.
Well, don't know what you're laughing for.
No, I don't.
Honestly,
No, I don't either. You take this so lightly.
We're trying to be fun.
I mean, you regard it as normal behaviour. If we all behaved like that, right, we would all be in the cesspit
I don't know
of
where to
society.
start. I
We'd
just
be
don't
in the
know where to
cesspit of
start.
society.
I don't understand what they're laughing at. Look, we're going to leave it there. Thank you both very much indeed. Let us know what you think. GBViews@gbnews.uk.